Hello. Hey, this is Ashley, and you guys are watching Ashley Epidemic. And today we're going to be talking some Produce 101 X1 and just talking about this in general because there's a lot of thoughts that I have on this. And I just wanted to go over some of the things that I was thinking about during the finale with the final group and just talk about it. I initially filmed a video for this yesterday, but it didn't work. The audio was desynced, so I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna go live and we're gonna go ahead and talk about X1, which is the group that has come out of Producex101. And to be honest, I'm just gonna start off and just say that I'm really excited about this group. So yeah, let's just start there and let's actually talk about the finale first. So I have my notes on the finale and everything like that. Actually, before I even talk about the finale, let's go over real quick. So the actual lineup of X1, in case you don't know the X1 lineup. So X1, there are 11 members. The 11th member was determined by the X Factor. And yeah, let's just start. So the X member is Eun Sung from Brand New Music. The number 10 member was Kang Min-hee from Starship. Number 9 was Cha Jun-ho from Woollim. Number 8 was Nam Do-hyun from MBK. Number 7 was Lee Hong-gyul from MBK. Number 6 was Son Dong-pyo from DSP Media. Then we had number 5, we had Cho Sung-yoon from Yewa. Then we had number 4, which was Song Hyung-jun from Starship as well. Then we had number 3, we had our lovely Han Sung-woo from Plan A, Play M. Then we had number 2, we had Kim Woo-seok from Top Media. And then we had number 1, the center, which was Kim Yo-han, and he's from We Entertainment. So that is the lineup. The lineup would have lost a lot. So yes. Yeah, the entire lineup was a huge surprise. Obviously, the 1 and 2 weren't a surprise at all because they'd pretty much been the top from the beginning. So Johan and Woo-seok, it was just a battle of who was going to end up being the center. And I'm actually really glad Johan ended up being the center because I just feel like he's center material. He's adorable and super cute. But he also has some edge. He's really funny, really personable, and he's just like to me, he's like a perfect center. But the whole lineup was actually really, really interesting. But fun fact, when I was actually watching this, because they went from 10 to 1 and then X, and I had to go to work, and I was able, between the number 1 and the number X, I was able to drive to work, make a stop, and then actually get all the way to work before they actually announced the X. It took them that long to get to the X. I was just like, what are you doing? But it's okay because that meant that I didn't have to worry about missing anything. But yeah, this entire lineup, there were a bunch of shocks. Particularly, the ones that shocked me the most was Min-hee and Hong-gyul. And I was a little bit surprised by Dong-pyo. And don't get me wrong. When I say that I'm shocked, it's not so much that I'm like, oh, they have no talent. No, I honestly think everybody in the top 20 had something that they could bring to the table. Even Mingyu, who some people will argue that he didn't have a lot, but I honestly, Mingyu, he does have a really nice voice. It's untrained and he needs more training for it, but he does have a nice voice. So if he were to make the group, I'm sure that he would receive a little bit extra training. Obviously, he'd be pushed in doing other things, but he has a bass nice voice. He's also an amazing visual. And the boy works so hard. Everybody works hard, but he was constantly being berated. I'm sure he knew that there were fans that like were talking down on him, and yet he was like, no, this isn't enough. It has to be more. He's a really determined kid, and I'm really, really, really hopeful that we will see more of him and that he doesn't fade into jellyfish, because I worry sometimes about people in jellyfish, like if you're not already in a group that's debuted, and they just debuted very. So I'm worried about Mingyu. I hope that if there is a project group that he can make it into it, or he leaves jellyfish, because I do want to see more of him in the future. But let's not talk about eliminated trainees. Let's talk about the actual trainees that made it. So I don't know if you know this, but they did officially announce their positions. So I'm just going to go over their positions real quick. For the most part, I had guesses on who had what position, and I was pretty much on point. They didn't announce who would be leader yet, so I guess I'll go over that real first. So honestly, I think it's either going to be Singwoo or Singyun who will end up being the leader, but obviously I'm not 100% sure. I'm actually hoping that it's Singyun who ends up being the leader, not Singwoo. Singwoo is leader of Victon, and he's already the eldest, and he's already got all this pressure on him, and he's going to be the main vocal. And I feel like Singyun being the leader, also Singwoo will also have to enlist before the entire time is up. So I think it would just be better for Singyun to be the actual leader. I think it would work out nicely if he's the leader. But let's go over the actual positions. So Johan is the center, and he is a sub vocal, from what I'm seeing here. Then Usok is the lead vocal. Singwoo is the main vocal. Hyungjan is lead dancer and sub rapper. So it's interesting that they put him in the rapper category. It works though, because it was kind of skewed and a little bit unbalanced. Like we have rappers, but we needed more. We have Singyun, who is lead vocal, lead rapper, which is perfect for Singyun because he can rap and he can sing. And personally, I think that he is not the best vocal. He is an amazing vocal, which is why he is a lead vocal. But I do think Singwoo, and I have some questions, but he is an amazing vocal. If you haven't listened to any of his solo stuff as Woods, you should check it out. And also, he's a great rapper. So having him split lead vocal, lead rapper, and not focusing on just one or the other is actually really great. Who's next? Dongpyo, lead dancer and sub vocal. He's an amazing dancer. He's an eye-catching dancer, so I'm not surprised that he's one of the lead dancers along with Hyungjun. And he is also a sub vocal. He's very competent at singing. He has a nice voice, so not surprised there. Then we have Hangul, who is the main dancer and sub vocal. I was absolutely not shocked. Hangul is an amazing dancer. I don't really think that the show really got to highlight it as much. When I started to like Hangul, which I realized apparently, like I've known that I've always liked Hangul since I started watching, but I realized recently that he was one of my top few that initially caught my eye instantly. So Hangul's I've been rooting for apparently at least 6 weeks now. So go Hangul. So Hangul is going to be the main dancer and sub vocal. Then we have Jinho as sub vocal. I'm actually a little bit surprised by this. I mean, I expected him. You had no idea he was Woods? Yes! Singyun is Woods. Yes, he's okay. He's amazing. Singyun is fantastic. I had so many like internal conflicts when I realized how many things that Singyun has done that I've enjoyed, and they just never clicked together. But he's amazing. Having him on this team is A+. Plus the visuals on Singyun, he's gorgeous. But okay, so Junho. I'm actually really surprised about Junho being a sub vocal. I thought that he would have made it to lead vocal with Minhee, but they do have him down as a sub vocal. I mean, I guess you can't have too many lead vocals, but I honestly thought that the lead vocals would end up being Minhee, Junho, and Woosok. But I guess because they also have Singyoon as a lead vocal, they decided to drop Junho to a sub vocal. I'm kind of sad about that. I'd like to hear more of Junho's voice. You have never seen Woods? Okay, you have to check out Woods. So here's, I'm going to pull up the name of the Woods song that I really like that I've been listening to on repeat recently. Hold on one sec, because my mind is blank and I can't think of the name of it. Where is it? Pool. That's it. So Pool is really good. You should check out Pool if you haven't. Woods, Singyoon, talented, amazing, beautiful man. Okay, so Do-hyun is going to be the main rapper. Didn't really see any other position for him for that. He's not an amazing dancer. He's a competent dancer, but he's not an amazing dancer. And he is the rap kid that was voted in. So Minhee, lead vocal. Again, I didn't see any other position for him in that because, I mean, have you heard Minhee sing? He's fantastic. He actually, I feel like, could make it to main vocal level soon, especially once they start working more and he starts getting more parts. I definitely see Minhee being able to, and his voice is really, it has a really unique quality to it. It's very clean, but it also has this a little bit of a huskiness to it. It's a little bit lower, and I really like Minhee's voice a lot. He really started to stand out to me during the concept evals when he just kind of just, whoo, all of a sudden out of nowhere, I was just like, I don't know who this kid is, but his voice sounds amazing, and he's really shy and adorable, and just love this kid. And so then finally we have Eunseung, who is going to be a sub vocal, which really fits perfectly for him. Obviously that means he's not going to get a whole lot of lines, kind of like Junho, but I do think that the sub vocal spot is where Eunseung fits best. I do wish Junho was a lead vocal though. I'm not going to lie. But so those are the positions that they are going to be having. You never saw his face? Yeah. Woods is just, I don't even know with Woods, like how he manages Singyoon, how he manages to be as amazing as he is, but talented. So I can kind of see why he's not lead dancer. I can, because right now they have, for the lead dancers, they have Hyungjun, they have Dongpyo, and then obviously Hangul is the main dancer. And if you were to line up Hyungjun, Dongpyo, and Eunseung as dancers, Eunseung is going to be the one that fades out the least. It is a little bit shocking that they didn't list him there at all. But he is the one who's probably the least, I don't know how to explain it. He's going to pop the least as far as a dance position goes, especially when you already have those other three already who are just, Dongpyo knows how to play a camera really, really well. Hyungjun is extremely sharp in his movements, and Hangul is just on another level compared to the other guys when it comes to dancing. So I can kind of get it. Eunseung, he could get there. I feel like he could make it to that level, but I feel like he just needs just a little bit more. Like when he was what was he center for? I can't remember. Or what was he going for center? But like I just remember watching him, I think it was during, it was the concepts, and he's good. And that's one of the reasons why I was so shocked that he didn't make it. I had resigned myself to the fact that Eunseung was going to make the group, and I guess in the end it did end up happening anyway. But he's like one of those people that is just extremely competent. But he's not somebody who like is going to like hit you in the face and wow you. He's just really good. Um, let's see. Okay, so I'm looking at my notes so I don't forget anything. So overall, I think that the group is actually pretty well balanced. There's nobody in this group that is just a visual. Everybody has some sort of talent that they can bring to the table, whether the final positions are going to highlight that or not. That's the question of how well they're able to distribute and balance things. But as far as what the actual people bring to the table, it's a pretty well balanced group, which is impressive because I feel like that didn't happen with 101. And I don't know IZ*ONE well enough to say that there. And thinking back to IOI, there was definitely imbalance there too. In case you don't know, my previous history with 101. So I started getting into K-pop during the IOI era, and I do really like IOI. I have an IOI album. I do like IOI. I followed the IOI promotions. I like the girls. Chungha's my girl. Chungha was always my girl. 101, I didn't follow the whole season. I watched periodically because I love Sammy. Samuel's my dude. He's the coolest. But I watched occasionally because of Samuel, and I watched the finale, and that was it. As far as following 101, I watched everything that they released, every single thing, and I watched a few things here and there, but I wasn't like a 101 stan. I was just kind of like a casual for 101. And then for IZ*ONE, I just never really watched. I never got into them. I have listened to both of their title tracks, but I haven't even listened to their whole album. Like 101, I listened to their whole albums. I would listen to them on repeat because, like I said, casual fan. I just wasn't like super, super into them, but I did like 101. As far as this group, X1, I'm positive already that I am going to be an X1 stan. I'm not going to be a casual with X1. I am all in on X1. They are doing the recruitment. In case you did not know, within 12 hours, recruitment was announced. They opened their fan cafe. I added the fan cafe, and then a couple hours later, they're just like, recruitment is happening from pretty much Monday to Monday. So next week, starting on Monday, well, Sunday if you're in the US, they're opening recruitment, and it only lasts 1 week. If you are interested in that, I would say hit me up on Twitter, because what I am planning to do is to save on costs of shipping. I am planning on signing up, obviously, for the membership, and I'm going to have it shipped to my Korean address because the shipping to Korea is way, way, way cheaper. And hopefully if there's a couple people that want to do this with me, obviously I won't do it if nobody wants to, but have it shipped to my Korean address, and then from my Korean address I can ship them over here in a group, so that way it'll save on shipping, because I know that shipping because it's through Interpark, it ends up being like $50, and it's only like an $80 membership. I mean a $30 membership, less than 30. So yeah, okay, so I heard some weird things about Produce 48. So not so much weird, but just the whole like that they brought in the AKB48 girls, and then they had the regular Korean stuff, and it just seemed like weird. And I was also not surprised that only it's only 2 members that are actually Japanese ended up making the group. Doesn't really surprise me since it's a Korean show. And I mean, I know obviously they're gonna put talent ahead, which is why we still have 2 Japanese members, but I feel like a lot of Korean people, unless the Japanese member was incredibly way, 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 way better than the Korean, they're probably going to vote for the Korean. So that would totally throw me off. I feel like Producex101, despite its X twist, felt, at least it seems more like the old stuff. So X1 is so much better than IZ*ONE. Yeah, I'm really excited about X1. I was actually really, really nervous if I was going to be into this group, but it turns out that like they've really like captured me. It feels like it just seems like such a good group. That was one of the things that I had in my notes, is that the group dynamic with this group feels really, really good. Obviously, I didn't watch the whole show for 101 to really know that, and I didn't get too deep into the relationships between members, so I don't know that. But the relationship that seems to have progressed between the members already seems like they are a group of close guys. Like, obviously they were competing, and there's obviously friendships that are tighter than others, but they feel really close already. How do I feel about how many? So there's 4 people that have already debuted. We have Kim Woo-seok, we have Han Seung-woo, we have Lee Han-gyul, and Cho Seung-yoon. So 4 people that have already debuted. Honestly, I'm surprised that Mnet let that many of them in. But I did also realize once that started to happen that was probably why Jin-hyuk was never going to make it. I seriously doubt that they were going to let 5 debuted members, and not even the fact that it was 5 debuted members, but the fact that it's 2 from the same, not even the same company, but the same exact group. I don't think Mnet would have ever let that fly. So I'm pretty sure that they were happy that Jin-hyuk didn't get the extra vote. So there was no way that they were going to help that out and prevent the entire Jin-hyuk situation, which would have been prevented previously. Yeah, because he would have made the group otherwise. And I don't know, Mnet was probably just like, this worked out in our favor, which really sucks for Jin-hyuk. Jin-hyuk is like a cute little puppy, but I think it works out in the end. Overall though, I'm happy that they've made the group. Overall, I guess I should probably say why though. So I'll start with the most obvious. So I'll start with Lee Han-gyul. So he was from IM. IM is completely inactive, and I don't know much about them, but I believe that one of them left the group already, and I think it was already only a 4-person group. So I'm happy for Han-gyul. This is his chance. Cho Seung-yoon, unique. While they have a bop, it's Chinese company. 3 of the members were Chinese. One of the members went into acting, I think. I honestly don't think we're gonna see anything from Unique again. I mean, it might be possible that we might get like a special song later on, but like also I think like 2 of the other Chinese members like joined like Chinese like audition shows like this too, and they made it. So like what's gonna happen to Unique? I don't think that there's gonna be anything that happens. So for Han-gyul and Seung-yoon, I feel like this is like the absolute best for them, because like they get to be part of groups again, they get to shine again, and they get to highlight their talents. And yes, they have way more training, they have more experience than the others, but at the end of the day, it still comes down to whether the public liked them, and they lucked out and the public did like them and they got in. So I think that works. For Woo-seok, Uptension. He took a break from Uptension before and came back. So I feel like with Jin-hyuk back in the group, I feel like it's going to work. Also, I should mention, so there's that BY9 group that people are petitioning for, which Jin-hyuk would be a part of. And I feel like for Uptension to thrive, I feel like Jin-hyuk can't be part of that BY9 group, as much as I love Jin-hyuk. Because like Jin-hyuk would thrive, but then Uptension would not gain the base, because for Uptension to get more audience, Jin-hyuk has to go back to Uptension and not be part of BY9. So I don't know how this is going to work out. But yeah. How do I feel about the proposed BY9? BY9 is, it's I have feelings. I love the idea of it. I would like there to be a subgroup. I'm not entirely sure about the exact lineup because, like I said, mainly and my main issue is just Jin Hyuk because I want Uptension to thrive. I liked Uptension when they came out with Attention. I bought their Summer Go album. I did sell that. It was a signed album too. But I do like Uptension, and I've always checked out all their stuff. So I would like them to thrive. And I don't know if they can do it without Jin Hyuk there now. Because Jin Hyuk is going to bring the fans in. And if Jin Hyuk is in BY9, then who's bringing the fans back to Uptension? Like, that means that Uptension then has to thrive on just the fact that two of their members are now in these other groups. Yes, that's going to boost fans, but how much is it really going to boost if the people that they're looking for aren't even there? So, worried about that. As far as Han Seung-woo, Victon. Okay, so before I get into my thoughts on Seung-woo, I'll just mention who would I have moved from X1 if I could have replaced one member. To be honest, it would probably be Eun-sang because Eun-sang is just, I never, like, yeah, the last 2 episodes I was just like, oh, he's kind of funny, but he's still never really, like, caught me too much. I was never, like, super impressed by him. Like, not as much as some of the others. I would personally bring Tony in. A lot of people, like, kind of ignored Tony, but, like, Tony is really good with playing to the camera. He's really good at performing, and, like, he's just really fun to actually just watch on stage. So that's why I'm hoping that with this BY9 group that Tony is 100% a part of it. I know that he's part of that lineup, but yeah, I mean, he's just really good on stage. He caught my eye early on, and he repeatedly just continued to show up repeatedly, so I would probably put Tony in. Yeah. Before this lineup came out, I probably would have said Hangul, but Hangul made it, so yeah. I do love Jin Hyuk, but again, I don't like the idea of Jin Hyuk and Woo Suk being in the group. As much as I would have loved that camaraderie, that bond there, I just feel like it hurts Uptension too much having both in. So, yeah. Kind of like with Seung-woo and Byung-chan. I think, honestly, that Plan A was playing games. They were playing disgusting games, and Seung-woo and Byung-chan were the ones who got to be the contestants in it. So, I have a theory that, yes, Byung-chan was probably hurt, but I have a theory that Plan A intentionally pulled Byung-chan out of the group out of the running for the group, so that focus would go on to Seung-woo because they noticed that Seung-woo had started to rise above Byung-chan. Because Byung-chan initially was ahead of Seung-woo, and then all of a sudden Seung-woo skyrocketed. And I think that they honestly tried to focus everybody in that was trying to vote for the two of them so that they would only be able to vote just for Seung-woo, and it worked. Seung-woo obviously made it. I think that Byung-chan was extremely popular. Like I said, he was more popular than Seung-woo initially, and I think that popularity has already started to transfer over to Victon. What I think that Plan A, Play M is going to do, Play M I should say right now, I don't know. I've had bad feelings from Play M for well before they even announced Victon being on this show. I honestly thought that Play M was going to disband Victon, like back in December. So yeah, I'm worried about that. Um, I don't think that they're going to disband them now, but I honestly don't know what they are going to do with them. If they are smart, they will do something with the 6 of them very, very soon, within like the next 6 weeks. If they wait more than 6 weeks, it's going to not be as effective. They have to do this very soon. The sooner the better. As far as Singwoo, he posted a really, really cute photo today on the X1 already. He's adorable. He's cute. I feel like Singwoo probably has a lot of guilt, a lot of sadness right now going on. I think he's going to get through it, but yeah, I definitely think that he's got the sadness going on. And I think it's because he made this group. He knows that he's going to get attention. He knows that in doing that, he can't help Victon at the moment, and he's the leader, so that's going to have guilt on him. But you can also get the sense of that there's a little bit of excitement there too. So I think it's a lot of mixed feelings for him, and I feel like he's going to need some time to work through it all. I think that things will end up okay, but he needs some time. It's a huge change for him right now, because this is going on the it's one thing going on the show, it's another thing actually finally making the group, and I think it's going to be a lot. I think it's going to be a lot for him, but I'm going to support him no matter what. I'm going to support Victon no matter what. That's what it comes down to. No matter where he was, I was going to support Singwoo. So I do really love the friendship between Singwoo and Dongpyo though. They are adorable. It's a really, really cute friendship. You can tell that it's just a genuine friendship, and it's not just one-sided. It's not just Dongpyo relying on Singwoo, but you can tell that Singwoo actually kind of like really appreciates Dongpyo too. It's a really cute friendship. Actually, there's a few cute friendships, but I will say that I like to say that I was one of those people that spoke it into existence, but I was just like, what if we have something like a group where we have Dohyun and Hangyo and Singyoon, because they're just fools. You mean romance? Those two are in love. Yes, Dongpyo and Singwoo just they're so precious. I don't the moment that I saw Dongpyo rubbing Singwoo's belly, I was just like, I'm done right now. Like, this is they're too sweet. It's like almost like saccharine. It's too much. They're precious. Oh, Johan and Junho, very cute friendship. We only just kind of started to see it, but he brought out a lot of Junho's, like a little bit of that goofiness, and it's really nice to see Junho like that. Like, I feel like often the show just showed him just smiling for a lot in the beginning, but when you finally started to show him laugh and actually be a bit goofy, it was really, really endearing. He seems like a really sweet kid. Actually, in fact, I kind of just love all the O2 liners, and I'm just gonna say that it's because I'm also the year of the horse as well. Like, they're the year of the horse, I'm the year of the horse, and I'm just gonna say it's a horse bond. But they're just like really precious kids, and they're really sweet, and I love the O2 line. So there's the rumors of the rigged votes. They do seem weird, but that could be due to inflation of numbers, the way that the votes came in through the phone. There's different reasons why that could happen. It does seem a little bit weird though, but I don't know that it's quite as nefarious as some people are making it out to be. I do believe that there is 100% some sort of Mnet hands in there, but we don't know to the extent of what it was actually, what exactly was done, but we do know that the final lineup is the final lineup, and that's not gonna change. So, I mean, there's not much that we can do there. I like the group though. So, what else? Lee Dong-wook. Lee Dong-wook was an amazing host throughout the entire show. His bond with the contestants, with all the trainees, was amazing. I mean, he's Lee Dong-wook, and he's just really, really, really cute. And he's just so genuine, and it was really nice to see him as the one in charge, well, as the representative. So yeah, the numbers are really, really, really weird. I don't know what they did exactly. There was definitely hands in there, 100%, but I don't know to the extent of what was done, if it was changing the amount of votes each person had, or what. But I was hoping, hi Jasmine, I was hoping that Lee Dong-wook, so when they announced the number 10 and it was like Starship, I was 100% hoping Lee Dong-wook was just like, Starships, Lee Dong-wook, and he didn't. And he just announced Kang Min-hee, but I thought that was a missed opportunity. It would have been hilarious. But yeah, I love Dong-wook. I loved Dong-wook for a while. But he's so cute. I have to finish Touch Your Heart. I'm like 12 episodes in, and I watch like 1 episode or 2 episodes every like month, and I just need to finish it already. Hi, I'm good. How are you? But yeah, I should mention, I did mention a little bit that I love Min-hee, but that announcement, when they first announced Min-hee as the number 10, I was shook. I had convinced myself and had made peace with the fact that Min-hee was not going to make it. Like, I had convinced myself, and I think that what it really came down to with Min-hee, and why Jung-mo didn't end up making the group, was because, so there are strategies that everybody has with trying to get somebody into the group. So Hyungjun was number 8 last episode, and then he ended up shooting up to 4. And I think what ended up happening is that the Starship fans ended up focusing their votes on Hyungjun, so Hyungjun could end up, I think they were trying to push for him to be number 1 for center. Obviously that didn't work. They were fighting a very hard battle with, in particular with Woo-suk and Yohan. But they were voting for Hyungjun to ensure that Hyungjun made the group, because granted, Hyungjun had the number 3 most votes, so as long as he received a fair amount of votes on the live, he would have ended up the X-Boy. But they ended up pushing Jung-mo down. And Jung-mo didn't get as much votes. So what I think was that they maybe just weren't as organized as they were hoping, because it seems like they were trying to push to get 3 people in. So they were trying to push for Hyungjun, they were trying to push for Jung-mo, and Min-hee was the 3rd. And what I think ended up happening was they were more worried about Min-hee not making the group because his total votes were much lower. So the more votes, it was focused on Hyungjun and then Min-hee. So those two ended up making it. So Min-hee benefited from being the lower trainee, and that pushed him up. But then that left Jung-mo. And Jung-mo was close, and he probably would have ended up getting the X. But the problem is that there were too many upsets with the rest of the lineup. The fact that Hangul, for one, ended up making it, and Junho ended up making it. Those were both trainees that had much lower accumulated votes, and they had been outside of the top 10. So I think it really messed things up by those two ended up pushing in, because that meant that Jung-mo was no longer the top contestant with the most votes. Also, the fact that Mingyu got pushed out of the top 10 entirely. His votes on raw votes, he was number 17. The fact that he got pushed out so far meant that all of a sudden Jungmo was no longer like the person with the highest number of votes, just out of the top 10. And it was a game that the Starship fans ended up having to play, and it ended up backfiring. I am really happy though that Hyungjun and Minhee were the two Starship trainees that ended up making it, because I mean, Hyungjun, like I mentioned before, he's a really good dancer. He's really sharp with dancing, and then Minhee has an amazing voice. So I am really glad that the two that did end up making it were Hyungjun and Minhee. But I feel really bad for Jungmo, because clearly they were trying to push for all three, and it just didn't end up working out. Like, there were too many upsets. Like, everybody that was voting for Hongyeol and offering gold bars for voting, they screwed everything up. But I'm really happy for Hongyeol, because like I mentioned, I love Hongyeol. But yeah, I guess it comes down to, am I going to stand this group? Yes, I'm going to stand this group. Am I going to be doing group orders for this group? Yes, I am all in on this group, and I will be doing group orders. Like I mentioned, I'm already going to try to do for the membership. But yeah, I'm all in on X1. I'm glad Produce 101 is over. X101 is over, because it's been a lot. But I am really excited about X1. I expect that they'll probably have a comeback, since it's mid to late July right now. They'll probably come back mid to late September, maybe early October at the latest. So, okay, so that is a very interesting thing, yes. So they do have very different looks. But one of the things that I think right now, for maybe the first year or so, we're probably going to just get things that are bright and lights, maybe some EDM, but things that are very bright. But I do honestly 100% think that they are going to go more mature. And I say this because despite most of the younger members looking really young, a lot of those younger members have also pulled off a more mature look. So we've had Junho, and you got it. Junho doesn't look like he's only 17. Dongpyo is really versatile. Like, if you think back to, like, yes, he did the really cute with Pretty Pretty, but he looked much, like, I'm not saying he didn't look young, but he fit the look for Believer. He didn't look out of place for Believer. Hyungjun didn't look out of place for Finesse. Like, I feel like a bunch of the younger guys, in particular Junho, Dongpyo, Unsang, they all have this look where they still look young and fresh, but they have been able to pull off a kind of older look. The only one that I feel can't really pull off a mature look to them right now is Dohyun, and that's because Dohyun is 14. Like, when I looked at Dohyun in Monday to Sunday, and I forget what the other group was that he was in, but he looked young, and he just looks young. Like, he's chubby cheeked, and he still has all of his baby fat, and he can't pull off the older look. Like, Dongpyo can pull off looking more mature and have that stone-faced grill and not look like he's just trying to front and be an adult. Whereas Dohyun, he tries to put on a straight face and he looks like he's pouting. Like, I'm just not sure just yet. So I think right now it'll be kind of light and then going on. Yes, so I am going to be following people that haven't made that didn't make the top 20. So I am like you. I am a huge Suhwan fan. Suhwan was actually my number one, still is my number one. I adore him. I really want him to join a company. I didn't mention my teen. Technically, Kukyeon didn't make the top 20. Yuvin did. But I will look into more My Teen. I admit that I didn't know My Teen was My Teen. I thought that they were that Y Teen Monsta X project thing with Cosmic Girls. Might be. But now I know this, and She Bad is a good song. So I'll be following My Teen. But yeah, Suhwan is my number one. I hope that he signs with a good company and that we will see more of him. If I'm lucky, maybe he'll end up in this project group. I know he's not on the proposed lineup, but Suhwan is a talent. And also, I also follow Wonhyuk as well. So Suhwan and Wonhyuk. I think that Wonhyuk is extremely talented, and for some reason people just didn't like him. I don't know why, but he was really talented. And he's really good, and it made me really happy seeing him. I think it was in episode 11, and this past episode, every time I saw him pop up, I was very happy, because I just really love Wonhyuk. So Wonhyuk and Suhwan are the two that I'm really following outside of the top 20. So, you're my precious babies. But yeah, Suhwan deserves the world. He didn't deserve to be eliminated. He's so good. He's a great dancer. He's a great singer. He's just I want him and Yuvin to be together, though. We can't have that unless. So I just realized that My Teen actually lost a member. Lee Tae-vin was one of the My Teen members, and he left to go do more acting. Maybe Suwon can join. I don't even know. I don't even know if I'd want that, because I'm hoping My Teen will get more stuff in the future, but I don't actually know. It was Music Works' first boy group, so I don't know what they're gonna end up doing. But Suhwan and Yuvin deserve more. Like, give me a project group of just Suhwan and Yuvin. That would be awesome. No, add Wonhyuk in too, so we can get some rap going on too. That would be awesome. You have the rap and the vocals, and it would just be cool. Sorry. I really like Wonhyuk, and I feel like nobody does, but I love Wonhyuk. He's amazing. But yeah, I think that's everything that I had written down. They have a good vibe. We've gone over positions, the group. Yeah, the show is over. Thank goodness. Now we have to just do recruitment and deal with all of this, but I'm looking forward to their first comeback. I feel like it's going to be based off of what was so popular with the show. I feel like we're going to get some more EDM based songs. Hopefully there'll be R&B, hip hop, EDM kind of music. I feel like this group really lends itself towards that, so it'll be nice to see that happen with them. But yeah, I'm excited for what is to come with them. I'm not excited about collecting them, because that means I'm gonna have to collect a lot, because obviously I'll have to get Singwoo stuff, and I really love Dongpyo. And we'll see if anybody else, once we start to really see them interact, if anybody else starts popping into my love section. I really like all of them though. So, but yeah, I think it is time for me to head out. Oh, Hongil too. I'll be collecting Hongil. What am I kidding? What was my favorite original songs from the show? I think You Got It is still my favorite. You Got It. I really did like To My World though. But yeah, You Got It, definitely my favorite. I listen to that song a lot. Like a lot. Really loudly. Repeatedly. Yeah. But To My World is good. I haven't listened to that I haven't downloaded it yet to listen to it much, but You Got It and To My World were definitely my two favorites. I wanted to like Boy, or Boyness, whatever it is. I just didn't really love it like I wanted to. But the ballad was also really nice this time around. So also, I think it was so dirty that all the centers for the final stuff, none of them made it. It was, Yoon Sung's little pinky is crying. That was painful. Okay. I'll wait to see if there's any other questions or anything that you want to pick my mind about Producex101, but or X1. Let's see. I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but I did have this. That was it was cruel and unusual. Really cruel. None of them made it. Oh, Yuvin baby. Yuvin's fall from grace hurt. It hurt a lot. So, yeah. Yuvin he's talented. He just needs love. I also have a board back there that says X1. Well, technically it says XI because I couldn't find ones. Apparently I have no numbers for my light board. And I didn't light it up, but I will in the future. I still haven't finished setting everything up yet. It's still a wreck, but I've mostly put my albums away for the most part. I haven't really configured them, but they're mostly away. Yeah, Yuvin really wanted them vocals, and everybody on the team, they voted out Suhwan, and it's, I don't know, they just started painting him as wanting more. I mean, everybody wanted more, but they just started painting him in a bad light all of a sudden, and it was just really, it was out of the blue. But then again, if they really only wanted a few debuted people, maybe that's why they didn't want Yuvin to make it all of a sudden. They tried to pull him back that way. Otherwise, you might have had 5 debuted idols in a group of 11, which means it'd be almost half. So who knows? I don't know, but it was Yuvin is really talented. I was watching a video of him speaking English. Well, it was all of my team speaking English, but it was a lot of Yuvin. And Yuvin is a fool. He's a huge goofball. So, big sweetie. But yeah, I think I am going to head out now because it's been almost an hour. And yeah, I will see you guys. Bye. I hope this works. I've never